All right, check it out, YouTube. This is the Baboni small pet door available on Amazon.com. This is a wall pet door, so the pet door goes to the wall of the home to the exterior. Basically, what is included is you get two of these style of housings for your door. They can fit different thickness of walls because one slides into the other. The A unit of this goes inside your home, and the B unit goes on the outside of your home, the exterior wall. The B unit will slide into the other unit. So basically, it makes it adjustable as to fit different walls throughout the world. The Baboni product is a very high quality unit. This was roughly $70 on Amazon, with the larger sizes going up in price for the medium and the large. Like I said, very high quality unit, steel construction, and also very thick plastic door there. It's kind of flexible like a rubber material. It's got magnets to hold it in place. That way when the animal goes through, it doesn't stay open. It will seal itself back up from the weather. Also, these kind of like felt weather strips on each side. Very well built. Weather sealing, there's one of these on each side. Like I said, both of the units are mirrors of one another, except that one fits in the other to make a seamless construction or a seamless seal when it does go through the wall. So we'll kind of go through a look here. Right now I have the exterior panel lock on right now. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But you can see when the pet goes through the wall, it's a very smooth transition for the pet. So and you don't see any of the wall. This is all sealed off and part of the unit. So you can actually see the B unit there sliding into the A unit. Very smooth, very professional construction. And also, like I mentioned, the metal locking slide can slide in either the A or the B unit. They include one of those metal locking plates, and I'll show you that here in a second. All right, so here's the Baboni unit mounted on the outside of the home. You can see a nice install, nice and clean there on the siding, and you can see how it secures with the 4 screws, and they come with like little screw grommets, so it covers the heads of the screws. But very nice. That plate locks into place. You can see the locking lever at the top right there will hold that in. You can also mount that plate inside, and I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of the plate coming off. Bear with me. You just pull this lever to the side there, pull the plate out. You can actually leave that in place if you would like, or you can remove the cover altogether. And that exposes the B side on the exterior of the home, and you can see that the pet can go in. This door swings both ways so they can come out. There's magnets on both sides to seal, provide a weather seal for your home. Very nice, very well constructed unit. All right, so I wanted to go over a little bit of the directions of installing the unit. For the most part, their directions are okay. They kind of give you a list of tools you're going to need. That's accurate. They kind of give you some step by step. That's decent. I wouldn't call it great, but it's okay. Where they went wrong with the directions, in my opinion, mind you, is the template is too big. And what I mean by that is the cutting template leaves a lot of extra space that is not needed for installing the A unit into the wall. It's about 1/4 to 1/2 inch on each side. So what I did, I kind of used the template as a guide to start some of the your basic lines. I put the rectangle on the wall, as they say to, but then I went ahead and measured a more exacting outline for the unit itself, basically the space the A unit needed to go into the wall. And I went ahead and did that, spec'd it all out. Like I said, you cannot measure enough. Make sure you have a framing square, make sure you have a level, make sure you have a stud finder, measure 100 times. If that takes you the longest part of the installation, it's going to do you good, because you want to measure. You don't want to cut and having to cut over again, or cut a hole too big, or something that's not plumb or off level. So that's my spiel on making the hole for the unit itself, and obviously make sure there's no stud there. That's where the stud finder comes in real handy. Like I said, my opinion, template was way too big. However, it would work. And then they give you this little guide. So what this guide is for, this is actually inside the B and A unit. And what you're going to do is, when you do your outside hole, you're going to want to, hi kitty, you're going to want to put this in the unit, and then when that's facing out, you're going to put this over it, and then this is going to match up. So you basically have, you can put this on the outside wall after you use it on the inside wall, and they're lined up with those 3 holes. So it's a pretty good science. It's logical, it works. But you know, that was my complaint as far as that goes. As far as hardware goes, as for the installation of the unit itself, they're going to include a screw pack that gives you enough screws to install the inside and outside, some plaster style locks, so that way you can mount it to your drywall, and it's anchored in securely. Just be judicious as you're installing this. You are putting one side of it in drywall. The outside's going to go in your outside layer of wood of the home, and that's a little more secure. So you can use your wood screws with that. Those are included as well. But if you have something a little shorter, fits better, you can always use your own hardware if you would like. So they do equip you pretty well, and they include these nice little grommets. You make sure everything's done right as you do it. These grommets go over the fastener, and then there's a little lid. So you snap the little lid on, and it makes for a real clean installation. There's nothing getting caught on anything. And make sure you don't over torque anything. Make sure you watch the unit as it gets drawn into the wall, whether it be the exterior of the home or the interior of the home. With paneling, with your outside paneling, you want to make sure you don't put it on too tight, but so you don't affect the integrity or the aesthetics of the panels on the outside of the home. So anyhow, this overall very high quality unit. Very happy with the install. The install took me roughly 4 hours. I went and sourced some of the things I needed, like a jigsaw, a stud finder, and I needed a carpenter's square. So I went to the local Menards and sourced those items and come back, and then it was probably another 3 hours. The main thing for me was measuring and using a pencil to draw lines. And then when I was confident, I started drilling and cutting holes. And actually, the install was pretty smooth. It just takes a little time. Like I said, the biggest thing you can do to make for a good install is to take your time, do it right, make sure it looks good, and you'll be very happy with the outcome. So far, the cats, I don't know if they're actually using this yet. They're kind of a little apprehensive maybe of going through the wall so far, but as time goes on, I'm pretty confident they will use it. As far as size goes, this is 5 inches wide and 8 inches tall for the actual opening. This will fit our 16-pound cat. He's went through it, and it's a little snug on him, but no problem. He's a very large cat, but he can fit right through it, no problem. And our normal size cat, she goes through it with no issue at all. So if you got a cat that's a little bit maybe a little too healthy, they're going to be okay going through it. But I didn't want to buy the medium size. I wanted the small one. I didn't want to interrupt the wall too much. So I have a very large wide hand, I guess, and short fingers. So there's kind of the size. It'll fit a pretty good sized cat, and it looks really good. The only thing I wish this was available more in a some darker colors for the frame itself, but right now it's just white. So I went ahead and bought a white one. And I think I've covered about everything there is to cover with this. Like I said, very impressed with the construction. Get out there, buy one, check it out. I didn't want to put one in the door because I didn't want to have to cut a glass window in a door. I also didn't want to have to put, some of the door ones look kind of weird, maybe a little cheap. So this had really good reviews, and I see why now. And I want to tell you, thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them in the comments and reply. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you later. One thing I forgot to add, a quick post statement here. After this is done, if you have your paneling here, your siding, you want to make sure that if you pull off any of the secure fasteners from your panel, you want to replace those. And sometimes you might have to angle a screw in where your paneling secures to your home. Now, the actual door housing will secure that if you want it to, but I went ahead and put in a couple screws to secure the siding to the home, since when I removed the exterior wood on the house, there was a couple screws in there that was securing the paneling. So you kind of just watch what you're doing, make sure you're doing it right, take a little care obviously as you're doing it, which you will. And then another thing I have not done yet is I am going to apply caulking to fill up some of these gaps so we don't get any water that comes into the home. There shouldn't be much anyways, but it never hurts to silicone things off. And you know, if you do a nice job, it'll be seamless and you'll never have any leakage. I don't really worry about the water getting into the house itself, but I worry about the water getting into the wall. So anyhow, thanks for watching the video once again, and take care. Oh, and quick, here's the door going into the home.